All right, so I want to answer a question that got asked pretty much every single time we ran Infusionsoft University, and I still see it once or twice a week, either in Facebook groups or in community forums, that sort of thing. So let's say you have a campaign like this and you want to add people to this sequence. Well, usually they would get into that sequence by achieving this goal. But if they don't achieve that goal or they have a conversation with you and you just want to pick up those contacts and put them in here, there's a few ways you can do it. I've actually seen some people running trainings or making recommendations that you should create a goal and say entry point, and then you should choose that goal to be achieved when a tag is applied, and then attach it to this sequence, and then make up a tag or use an existing tag, and then when you apply that tag to the contacts, they will be added to the sequence. While functionally that is going to work, I certainly wouldn't do that because you're going to end up with a lot of unnecessary tags. And over time, that's going to slow your system down and it's going to make it harder to stay organized. So there's actually a much easier way to add people to this sequence. Let's go ahead and take a look first at the performance tab. I want to show you that there's nobody in here right now. And then we'll go back and we'll find some contacts to add. So you can go search through contacts this way, or you can use the quick search up here. Just as a pro tip, if you press Control Q, it pops your cursor into that window up there. So if you're working on the app, you press Control Q on a Mac or on a PC, it's going to pop your cursor up there so you can start searching for someone. So once you find the contact or group of contacts that you want to add, you have this Actions drop-down. And it's the same Actions menu that appears either in the Contact section or on any of the reports. So if you want to add anybody, all you have to do is look for that Actions button. And the option we're looking for is Start Stop a Campaign Sequence. And what this does is it just manually selects the group that you have and picks them up and drops them into whatever campaign you've selected and then whichever sequence within that campaign. So if I click Process Action, in just a moment here, we can go check in that campaign and we'll notice those two people have been added. All right, so here we are back in the campaign, and we'll notice that that test contact has been added. I think I said two people, but obviously it was just the one person, and he's in here now. So let's go find that contact again, and we'll say test. There we go. So if we check on the Campaigns tab, either on the contact record itself or from this interactive view, we'll see under the upcoming campaign items that they didn't achieve a goal. This was actually a few days ago for something else, but they didn't achieve the entry point goal. They just started receiving these emails. And they haven't received any yet, but they've been scheduled for future dates. So the 27th, 29th, and August 3rd. Right, so I can see those emails, email 1, email 2, and email 3 have all been scheduled out. Now, to remove them from this campaign, the correct way of doing it is to just choose Start, Stop a Campaign Sequence and pull them out of whatever sequence they're in. But I want to address it while I'm here. I've seen some people who will just come through and cancel these steps. So if I click Cancel on a particular email, I'll say, okay, I want to cancel that item. You see it pops up here and says Cancel. Right? So if I cancel all three of these emails, it looks like, oh, cool, there's no more upcoming campaign items. But what that's actually doing is just bypassing them from this sequence into the next. So if you cancel all of those upcoming steps, all that's going to happen is the system is going to flush them through to whatever comes next. So it'll see, hey, there's no more upcoming items. Let's go ahead and move them into the next sequence. Okay, so let's say you wanted to get that contact now out of the campaign. Well, you could go back and search for the individual contact, but you can also access them right from this list here. And then, like I said, with any of the reports or searches, you also have that Actions dropdown. And the one you want is Start, Stop a Campaign Sequence. So not Legacy and not Follow-Up Sequence, just Start, Stop a Campaign Sequence. And we could say, I want to stop this time. It's 1, 2, 3 sample, and then now they're in sequence 2. So that pulls them out of the campaign entirely, whereas canceling the individual steps just stops what's scheduled for them in that sequence. So hopefully this makes things a little bit easier for you guys, saves you the unnecessary tags that you might have been creating, and simplifies adding and removing people from campaigns. Cheers!